Hello. All right, welcome to a Tuesday morning fascia school. I was laying in bed last night thinking how I wanted to show you techniques for working lines and dents. Problem is, mine are all on the back of my body. It's a little difficult to demonstrate techniques in a way where I can be close enough to the camera and you can still see what I'm doing and I can see what I'm doing because I use the camera as a mirror. So we got technical. These are anatomically correct, can't you tell? Diagrams of some dents, some dimples, and lines. I'm going to show you the techniques that I use to blast them. Now, lines, we'll start with those. That can be a scar from an incision. That can be the banana roll bands on the back of your legs. That can be the thick, like kind of squishy, hard fascia bands that you may find on your hamstring. That can be the indents from bra dents, panty lines, where even if you're standing naked, it looks like you still have a ring around you. I consider that a line as well. So consider using same techniques for that. So primarily for the line, you can blast like regular, but what I'm specifically going to show you is my nuggeting techniques for how to soften the scar or lift the line when it's like the banana roll or the panty line ring or the bra dents. Okay, so if you're doing on a scar and it is numb and you can't feel anything, you can color directly on it. If it is tender and you can't get that close to it, you're going to pluck away from each side of the scar, working down in just small strokes, and just think of like pulling up and out. When you have the banana roll bands or the thick ones that sit underneath, you want to think about getting under and lifting up. Like I think a lot of the fascia is like thread. So if you've ever had a sock where one thread in the elastic part that goes around your ankle kind of gets snagged and it cinches the whole thing in like the top of a coin purse, like a slip knot, and it just pulls it completely. That's what I imagine the banana roll bands look like from the inside, and even the panty line bands, is that one line got pulled so tight that it cinched everything around. So now we gotta like pluck and dig to find how deep it's in there. So you can still do the same coloring on it, plucking away from it, but when you have a deep line that's in there, you want to think going up and lifting it back towards the surface until eventually you find the thread that's causing the problem and it begins to loosen and smooth. And you'll still follow with your same small claw, large claw blasting. But I also recommend getting a set of silicone cups. I use these in my shower. This is a small one from like a multi-size pack. And you can press the cup to suction it on, and you can pull and drag. If you're in the shower and you're all lathered up, you can drag this cup along the surface and even go this way and that way, and it'll also kind of help pull that line out. Okay, now surface dents and dimples, that's what these little circles represent here, right? Those tend to be more superficial, more towards the top. They're not as deep and down in there, so you don't necessarily have to dig. Like you don't want to be pushing the dent in further, right? So for those, I always start with the gliding cupping, put the cup on everywhere, big swooping strokes up and down, side to side. If I'm doing it on the back of my leg, I will go this way and up and down this way while being well lathered. And your primary blasting for the shallow, like golf ball looking surface dents is going to be the small claw tool. So you want to blast flat, up and down, side to side, all over. Then you want to tip the tool on its side like a rake, You just want to kind of push through and comb through the surface, and same thing, pull and try to go each direction with that raking motion, because this is more just, think smoothing a sheet on a bed. We're just working the superficial at the top just to make all of this kind of flatten out. There's little tiny adhesions in there, little bitty snags in that thread, right? But they're not like tied in a knot deep down in there. These we just kind of have to smooth out and get out. That is also the approach I take anytime I hit new, deeper layers that people call worse before better. I just say the problem became visible, right? Because as you're going through layers and removing fat, and because these tools lice the fat, it's leaving, you can just see what was happening below the surface. It was there the whole time. You can just finally see it, right? So when my surface might get disturbed because I've been manipulating so much deeper in there, I go back to this small claw, gliding cupping, smooth it back out, especially during short season. In the winter, I don't care. I'm here to do work and get this like tissue manipulation fixed up. This is to imagine like a deep dent, like one of those ones where it's rippling out, or a round piece of scar tissue, because not all surgeries and things are done in a linear way. Some end up with like the big old round, almost keloided scar. You're gonna take similar approaches to the line. If it's painless, you can go on top of it. If it hurts, work your way out until you can get in and get close. You're approaching a scared animal. It doesn't know what's happening. That's why it hurts. So you start out here with like small little plucking until you work your way through as it desensitizes. And then the same, you just kind of want to pluck outward from it until you can comfortably blast on top of it and do the same kind of raking motion out. But you may find some of the ripples on the edges, you need to take like the cupping and surface approach to smooth those little snags, because some scars are just never going to go away, but you can usually make them softer and flatter into where it's not actively still holding hostage whatever threads it got tangled up with. Okay, so I hope that helps. I will put this video up on YouTube, and I'll link it in the email that's going out tomorrow. But I just wanted to give y'all some of my techniques, because it's really hard to show you on the back of my own leg, and I don't have any local guinea pigs around. All right, y'all have a good day.